All right, the court is calling 2022 CR 10600 State of Texas versus Casper Luis Angel Ayala. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state? Defense. And are you Mr. Ayala? All right, I'm going to show you counsel discovery acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery in this case and did you review it with your client?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand that what you're charged with, I'm sorry, is possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1 less than 1 gram? That's a state jail felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to $10,000 fine. Did you understand? Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty, not grant you community supervision, and sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, sir.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, sir.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, sir.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page, did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? According to the plea bargain agreement, the state recommends deferred adjudication. Did you understand that to be the plea? Defense?
Yes, sir.
State?
Yes.
Next, I'm showing you outside the plea bargain agreement. The state is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 2 years. There'll be a TAP evaluation and 120 hours of community service restitution. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations? Then to the offense as charged in the information, how do you plead guilty, not guilty, or no contest? State any evidence?
Yes, Judge. States Exhibit 1 and all attachments.
Court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. The court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, court will find that there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court would defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are we proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, sir.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Yes, that's the follow.
All right, so what is this issue? Because I'm reading in the police report that he had a warrant for his arrest.
That was an MTR out of County Court 1. I was looking at this
Okay.
WI MTR. So sentenced on that was not able to bond out. So I believe he lost his job. Is that right? Lost his job from being sentenced. Again, have represented him on both the MTR in this case. 30 days of sober him up. I think he understands now what. I'll be completely honest with you. He understands what happens in a messed up relationship. So right.
It was helpful for 30 days being real sober. You know, allowed me to get my head cleared. Everything.
So, and then what is because there's the burglary in the police report, they're saying they got a call for a burglary. Is that case coming up or there's nothing to do with that?
Not that well.
It's got the animal trespasser, but
So that case is not being filed? Okay,
Judge, we'd ask to do a type of evaluation.
okay. All right, Mr. Ayala, how long have you been using meth?
On and off, probably like 2 years. In the last couple months, I haven't really been using it, been smoking marijuana.
Right, well, I mean, part of the reason you haven't been using because you're at the jail.
Well, no, in the last couple months, like 6 months.
So how often would you use?
It's not something like that I look for. Really.
But I want you to listen to my question.
Oh,
And let me explain something to you. I'm inclined to follow the agreement. Your attorney is asking that I allow you to do the tap out of custody. So I need you to be honest with me. Because when people are not honest with me and they have drug issues, that tells me where they are on the spectrum with regards to their sobriety.
I mean, I'd say like if it's around, like, you know, I'd use it, you know.
But how
really
often is
some-
that? Let's say it's sitting on this bench.
Yeah.
Are you using it?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
But it's like,
So who were you around? Were these friends?
yeah, like friends, really just friends, not people I hang around.
All right. Where's your family?
I don't have any family here. I'm originally from Brownsville, Texas, but I moved over here from Houston. All my family's in Houston. I don't have any family out there.
So you don't have any family in Brownsville either?
Yeah, my mother's side of the family, but all my father's side of the family is in Houston. But here in San Antonio, I don't have any.
So where's your mom?
She's in Nebraska.
Okay.
Yeah,
And where's your dad?
Mexico.
And do you have any siblings, brothers, sisters?
Yeah, I really don't keep in contact. One, my sister in Anahuac, Texas.
Oh, wow. So why don't you keep in touch with your siblings?
I just, I didn't really have a phone. I just don't really, I didn't grow up with them, so.
All right, so you want to spell Adawac for Brenna?
ANAHUAC.
Thanks. You're welcome. I see the
It
type.
didn't come out that way.
Yeah, I'm like, are there any more difficult places that you have family members living that we need you to spell for us? So do you have any children?
Yeah, I have 3,
Girls, boys,
2 boys and 1 girl.
ages?
My daughter is gonna be 5. My son's just turned 3, and then my other son's gonna be 11.
All right.
I was with him since he was like 2 in 2014.
So are you living with the mother or,
We got separated, moving here to San Antonio.
and so where is she?
I think she's still in San Antonio. if I'm not mistaken.
And
I haven't really, before I got arrested, I just got in contact with her. Because she was going through, some stuff, so.
If I could just clarify real quick. So the stepson is 11.
Mhm.
That's, I think that she's maybe asking about that one, but there's also the 2 that are biologically yours.
Yeah.
When you talk about the important.
yes,
I mean, I hate to say that that the judge once or twice in this position, she's gonna ask you about the ones you're supposed to be supporting beyond as well, so make sure you differentiate. Sorry.
no problem. So when's the last time you had any contact with either of the children?
At the moment she wasn't letting me speak to them. I was just, sending her what I can, clothes, food.
So the 3 children, are they by the same mother?
Yes.
All right. So is Child Protective Services involved at all?
They were a couple years ago
And why were they involved?
because her aunt and her mother said that we were unfit parents
And why did they think you were unfit parents?
because we were smoking marijuana at the time.
And
They had it's really like ugly little situation that had gone on because the way her family was.
I mean, that is a problem if you're doing drugs and you're around the children.
Like about a year, really, about a year, but like 4 months, give or take 4 months of custody court. But then the judge, we asked them for help. So whenever like we were trying to get our kids back, they didn't want to give them to us. And they, try to take our kids away from them.
Let's not call them kids. Kids are baby goats. So let's call them children, okay?
Well, they try to take our children away from us when we ask them for help. To try to like get our things organized since moving from Houston to here. And that caused a big issue with her and I. That's how we ended up separating.
Well, but as you know, when you're making moves in your life and you have children, you have to have plans. So parents, it's nice if you have financial support for people. It's nice if people agree to babysit, but whenever you're making plans to maybe better yourself, at the top of your list, you need to consider your children, because guess what? They just going along with their parents. And if the parents are using drugs, guess what? They just have to go along with their parents.
That's what I've been thinking a lot about lately.
So what are their birthdays?
My daughter's January 5th, 2017. My son's August 26th, 2019, and my stepson, he's December 19th, 2012.
Okay. All right. Do you have any employment prospects?
I was planning on going back to doing landscaping with the company that I was whenever I first came here to San Antonio. But until then, I'm gonna go to day labor.
All right, and are you planning on staying in San Antonio, or do you think you maybe need to move wherever you have your support system?
And I feel like I have to be like,
I can't hear you.
I feel like I have to be pretty solid for myself, so I'm gonna try to, I'm gonna stay here.
Okay, where you, if you're released, do you have a place to live?
Yeah, before I got arrested, one of my friends and I were planning on getting an apartment together, so I'm gonna look into that whenever I get out. I just don't have any other numbers. My phone is dead. I only got out one number. It was one of my cousins from Houston.
So where you going, how are you gonna be able to get in touch with this person, this friend that you may be living with?
At the apartment wherever, like in that like little area, but I do have a place where I could be for the moment.
All right, anything else? All right, this is what the court is going to do. Court is going to sentence you to 2 years deferred adjudication. 120 hours community service restitution. 40 of those hours will be waived if you provide proof of the COVID vaccination. The court is not requiring you to get the COVID vaccination, but if you do, 40 of those hours will be waived. Are you, is your first language English or Spanish?
England.
Okay, I asked because that will determine which parenting class I send you to. All right, we're going to do parenting classes. And that can be with Triple T. Once you complete the parenting classes, the remaining of your hours, community service hours, we waive. Proof of employment within 30 days of release. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. We can do a TAP evaluation while out of custody. If you miss that TAP appointment, what's going to end up happening is I'm going to get a report about it. And a warrant is probably going to be issued for your arrest because it's going to be a violation of your probation. And we may end up doing the TAP evaluation at the Bexar County Jail, or you may end up going to the state jail facility for 2 years. You understand? So it's very important that you keep your appointments. Probation, if TAP evaluation recommends inpatient treatment, we'll start with intensive outpatient treatment. I'm going to want 90 sober meetings in 90 days. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. Regular UAs. And we'll do field visits for 2 months. At once per month. If for any reason there are issues, then you will continue with the field visits probation. If not, then there'll be field visits as probation deems necessary. Probation, is there anything else he needs?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Ayala, is there anything else you need from the court in order to be successful in this probation? Sure, yes.
1 second. Judge, the issue that I would have in contact with probation gets out. I know his phone hasn't been on. He, to be honest with the court, he could have bonded out before today, but he doesn't have the money or the support for that. So we can give him a couple days to get his phone turned on so he can return phone calls.
Oh, they'll do it in person. Yeah, it's either in person or by Zoom. So just let probation know what your situation is. And honestly, if they are okay with you doing it by Zoom after you do your first orientation, then they can let you know. And if you can't do it by Zoom, all you have to do is tell them. Probation in this court, in order to be successful, communication is key. Okay,
That was my concern. He's good. Thank you, Your Honor.
you're welcome. I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it? Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand? All right, good luck to you. You're going to have to do better for your children.
Thank you.
All right, oh, thank you. All right, court is calling 2022 CR 10600W, State of Texas versus Casper Luis Angel Ayala. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state
Jason Jorgens for the state.
defense? All right, and are you Mr. Ayala?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm gonna need you to speak up, and everyone, I need you to whisper. Showing you what's entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Casper Luis Angel Ayala who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2022 CR 10600W for the offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, less than 1 gram, on November 2nd, 2022 for a period of 2 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
State?
In this case, the state alleges in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant, Casper Luis Angel Ayala, did then and there fail to report to the supervision officer as directed for the months of December 2022 and January 2023 in violation of condition number 4.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
We'll waive the remaining allegation, Your Honor.
Any objection? Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 4, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, and sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to $10,000 fine? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 4? Court will find violation of condition number 4 true. Is there an agreement?
Yes, Your Honor. The agreement is for the court to grant the motion to revoke community supervision and find Mr. Ayala guilty of the underlying offense and to assess punishment under section 1244A of the Texas Penal Code for a term of 71 days incarceration in the Bexar County Jail with credit for 71 days time already served. So if the court follows this agreement, there should be a judgment satisfied.
All right. Are you asking the court to follow this agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you waiving your right to appeal?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, is this your agreement?
It is now.
All right, the court will follow your agreement, find you guilty, not grant you community supervision. I'm going to sentence you to 71 days in the Bexar County Jail under 12.44, give you credit for any time served, and the court will show that the judgment is satisfied. Going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it? Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, we can go off the record. You're going to have to make changes in your life. If you do not, you're going to find yourself in and out of the Bexar County Jail, in and out of prison, and you're going to wake up and half of your life is going to be gone. Do you understand? All right, do better. If you have a drug or alcohol problem, there are plenty of free places for you to go. When you get out of the Bexar County Jail, my advice to you is you probably need to go to a sober meeting and get your life in order. You understand? All right, good luck to you. You're welcome.